Right. Sports Inquirer here with Layshia. Just how was the off season? We talked about it off camera. It looks like you did some broadcasting work. Just talk about how you occupied your time between WNBA seasons.
A lot of working out, always trying to get better. Ended up picking up 10 games with the Pac-12 network as a color analyst, so it worked out well because I broadcasted on the weekends. So I worked out all week, my #1 job, and then kind of did my second job on the side. Traveled usually on Sundays and did some games for the Pac-12. So it was really fun. Got to scout, seeing some players who are going to come to our league this year. Obviously the Pac-12 is pretty good. So.
Does that help in your game, seeing different competitions and different skill levels, and just kind of seeing what other teams are doing, where you can pick up some things for a professional game?
It helps in the sense of, like, as a point guard, I'm watching the game and I'm analyzing. I think we play a higher level of basketball, obviously, so you see some schemes that are same in the pro, but you don't see quite as many. Depends on the team that you're watching and playing. Oregon State's one I love, and Stanford runs some stuff that we like, and you're starting to see like teams ice screens and do things more than the pro does. But overall, just seeing the floor as a point guard and having to analyze it, I think it helps in that way.
How has this training camp been with new coaching staff and then incorporating Angel back into the rotation?
Angel's been awesome, so it's good to have her back. The energy's like super positive and exciting, and it seems like we're building a good culture kind of from the ground up this season. And camp was pretty good. It was grueling. We didn't do 2-a-days, but we go. Nicki's over there. We go kind of long, and camp's hard for everybody because we're just trying to squeeze so much into such a little bit of time, and so it's been good, but everybody's camp is hard, so you just got to grind through it.
What were some of the differences? You haven't played a game yet, but from Coach Cooper's camp to Nicki's camp, just kind of what are some of the differences you've kind of seen as far as the coach's approach to things?
One of them's kind of the 2-a-days. We ran a lot with Coop, and this team, Nicki wants to play fast and with pace as well, but we don't just run quite as much during practice, and this season's 19 days shorter, so I think she knows too she's going to have to kind of save our legs because we do want to play with pace, but we just don't have the luxury of like killing us in practice every day, up and down.
And Coach, I just spoke with her, talked about having a backcourt from 1 through 3, 5 potential starters. How do you handle that as far as you being in that rotation, but then also being point guard, having to make sure everyone gets involved? How do you handle that?
Point guard's hardest job on the court, and you're usually responsible for everything. You got to know the plays, know your other teammates' positions, so you can help them when they're struggling. So it's a lot mental preparation too, that you got to be locked in every day because you're going with the ball in your hands. Even sometimes you draw a blank in the game. You're like, oh God, what was that play? You just don't have as much leeway to like forget things and to not be sharp. So it's a ton of pressure, but as you get older, you start to get more comfortable in this league and playing obviously on the same team for a few years, and you get used to playing with each other. But this year we've had to learn all new sets for Nicki too, so that's been new, and kind of have to pick that up pretty quick, playing on a whole new playbook. So the rookies have to learn that too, but the veterans as well. We have a leg up obviously because we've been doing it for a while longer, but it's new for everybody.
How important is every game is important, obviously, but these first 2 or 3 games, how important is it just to establish rotation, see as every season's different? How important is these first few games to just get everyone acclimated into Nicki's system and get organized?
Totally important. I think it's easy to be all like, yay, team, go, until things get hard. So for me, I think the challenge is looking forward to when we hit that adversity. We played Dallas. They're like a tough, gritty, physical team that's just gonna flail and hit you with their elbows. Playing Gorey, they have Cam Beige this year. So for us, for me, it's like when that adversity comes, how do we respond? And that's gonna build that chemistry from the beginning. And just making sure we stick together, because that's the stuff that matters. You're gonna lose some games. This league is too good. No one goes undefeated every year. So how do we stick together and keep building that togetherness?
And this last thing, I've seen some preseason reports. Optimism with the team. So with Angel returning, a lot of returning starters. Just how do you handle those expectations and not look at the potential and just focus on, I guess, the current?
We're still picked 9, I think, to finish 9th in the league. So
I've seen some more optimism. Like,
have you seen some higher? Okay, one I saw was 9. I was like, come on.
I've seen some sort of potential surprise teams, maybe a playoff team. I've seen some of that stuff.
Yeah, I think we should make the playoffs. We have way too much talent to not make the playoffs. I mean, even as bad of a year we had last year, we were still kind of fighting and clawing to the end. So my expectation is like we better make the playoffs. I'd be really let down if we didn't. But you just try and focus on those things. This league is too good. Even teams, there's no team in this league where one night you're just like, oh, that's the team that sucks, we're just going to go out and crush them. Like, this league is way too good. Even San Antonio, who's had a rough couple of years, obviously moved to Vegas. Bill Lambier's there. We know how his style of play is. So no team is going to just roll over in this league. So every night is that kind of battle where you're clawing and scratching, and that's where in the middle of the play and season is how does that chemistry come into play, right? 'Cause someone's gonna get injured. Now maybe you've lost 3 games in a row. Do you guys start fighting each other and get nitpicky, or do you like draw closer when things get harder? And that's what we're trying to build.